Hello, hi, I'm Drew Walden, head coach and CEO of Badger Aquatics. We are welcoming you to see our presentation for our 2021-22 season. Looking forward to having everybody back in a more normal situation. And we have some new and exciting changes within our program that we want to discuss now. And I'm going to have Jacob Johnson go ahead with the beginning of the program.
All right, everybody, we figured that the best way to do this was kind of an asynchronous Zoom, so we don't have to worry about everybody's schedules and stuff. So that's kind of what you're viewing. We're going to have a PowerPoint. Connie's going to share a little bit when we get to the dryland section. This is going to be up on our YouTube page. There's also a ton of companion documents currently on the web to go with all this. So you can look there if you have any questions or want further information. And then obviously we want you to email anytime you have any questions. We're excited about some of the changes we have for our fall 2021 programming. We're kind of calling the collective changes kind of back in business. You've seen a few things already. You may have seen our new logo. You may have seen the overview that we sent out and posted on the web. But this quick PowerPoint's going to kind of go through some of the main points. So what is back in business? I'm not going to read to you guys. You can read it. But basically, just after being disrupted so long, we're excited to get back to it. We're excited to kind of adapt to some of the changes, and the way we functioned over COVID taught us some lessons on what was missed and what we could do to improve. And we're just basically excited to get back to a more normally functioning club. So why are we making these changes? Well, these are things that making changes is probably something that good clubs are doing regularly anyway. So we wanted to look at, we obviously make small changes from one season to the next, but we were probably due for some large overhaul changes. Obviously, when we formed in 1999, that was a pretty brand new program and way to function. About 10 years later, so about 2010, 2012, we redefined our groups again to kind of what the bronze and silver and trophy and senior that you were used to. We felt we were probably due for a makeover of sorts again. Lessons learned during COVID. So obviously what we missed, a lot of these are obvious. We didn't nearly have enough pool time and training. The groups we had were so small that we didn't have our best friend teammates or the people we like to train against and our same age and same ability peers. That's always been a strength of BAC, is the size of our team means that you can get together with a group of kids that are around your age and around your same, swimming ability and have your same swimming goals. And that just wasn't the case over COVID with such small groups and such an abbreviated schedule. Certainly the consistent coaching was an issue over COVID. People had irregular schedules, and that included our coaches as well. Some of the stuff, what we learned, big one would be dryland training. And I said, Connie's going to talk about that in a little bit, just how important that was and how we felt that was a big part of the ability to be as successful as we were during COVID. But we also learned that sometimes less can be more, and maybe all of our groups don't need to be doing quite as much time in the water. We felt that with less pool time, it was a little bit more valuable. We felt that sometimes coaches or swimmers were fresh and more focused and really kind of using all the time they had. So that's something we're going to take forward. Our dryland training, like I said, we saw some huge gains last fall and winter, even though what we did was kind of disjointed, right? It was great programming, and our coaches did a really good job, but setting us something up to run a couple hours every night in the ballroom that would normally have like a bar mitzvah or a wedding is not, anybody's ideal way to structure something. So we're going to build off of the gains we saw from that. We got great positive feedback from the athletes and from parents, great feedback from our coaches. Like I said, we thought that the results we did have this winter were partly due to the gains from this kind of training. Connie has a ton of expertise in this area, so we're going to tap into that. And then we have an exciting new partnership with a place called Endurance. If you're not familiar, some of our athletes have been using it this summer, but it's a triathlete-focused building and business off of Beltline, sort of by Seminole Highway. And they have a wonderful dryland facility that we're going to be using pretty much every night for this entire short course season. So our renewed focus on training, what it isn't, because there's a lot of stuff out there that's dryland training because it is recognized as being so important, but there's a lot of stuff out there that's just kind of junk. So what we're not doing is an overpriced fad workout that really doesn't relate to swimming. We're not paying, we're not asking you to pay an extra $50 an hour to go jump rope in the corner or something like that. It's not, at the same time, it's also not just generic stuff. We had a lot of kids over the years doing just generic strength and conditioning run by, no offense to any JV football coaches out there, but it's not necessarily an overlapping skill set with what our swimmers need to be doing. So what we have, and Connie will go over it, is swim specific. It's tailored to our age and level of our swimmer. It's adjusted to what's being done in the pool. And most importantly, it's consistent and taught by our people. So we can see our kids in there. We've had, over the last couple of years, we've had so many injuries and just little issues and stuff that have popped up with people doing kind of these rogue, unconnected dryland programs that really haven't been supervised in the way we would want them to. So we're excited for that to be the case. We're going to go ahead and stop the PowerPoint here for a second. I'm going to spotlight Connie.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Connie Martin, if you don't know me. A little bit about my background. I have been involved in the fitness industry for nearly 40 years, which is kind of scary, but I've seen a lot of stuff come around and go, and I gotta say that this program, during COVID, I was introduced to this program that came up, and it really kind of left a mark on me, and I'm super, super, super excited to get going on this program. It's a swim-specific, dryland-focused program, which is really one of its kind right now. There is nothing else like it out there. I've been recently certified, and I gotta say, within the nearly 40 years that I've been doing this, I have never come across anything like this before. And like I said, it's left a mark on me, and I'm super, super excited to do it and implement it into the back program. I feel it's going to be making a significant difference in the swimmer's ability. The training is going to be tailored to their ability/level, and they're going to be assessed, and performance tests there will be to figure out exactly where their level is and where their ability is. So it'll be very individualized, but yet in a group setting. So that's pretty exciting too. And one of the most important things that I think is really, really valuable, Jacob touched on it earlier, is it is geared towards injury prevention. So that's super important to have that as one of the variables as this program. As we learn how to do the correct body positions and different kinds of things on land, hopefully that's going to cover the injury prevention, which is so important for that. So as the kids get stronger with their strength training or their mobility or their flexibility, that's going to help those kids become more resilient and resist any injury. So that's a real positive. Again, it's cutting edge stuff, and I'm super excited to start in September. We'll be assessing those kids and doing some performance tests. It's a different program. Like I said, I've never come across anything like this before. So just to be able to have this opportunity to implement this program with BAC is very, very exciting. I think you're going to like it. I think the kids are really going to like it too.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, when we were talking about it as a coaching staff, and when Connie said basically what she just said, that she's been doing this for almost 40 years and she's never been we've leaned on her expertise for dryland for a number of our groups for years, but when she said she's more excited for this than anything we've ever done, it made my eyes get pretty big. So we're pretty excited about that. Back to the slideshow, back to the PowerPoint. So group structure, I'll go through this pretty quick because this is probably the thing that is best explained by some of the companion documents that are on the web now. Again, you can check the back in business tab. The basic kind of group structure, 3 levels, 3 age levels, age group, junior/middle school, senior/high school. And within each group, we're going to have kind of 3 different practice groups. The thing that's a little bit different here is that the time you would move from one to the other is shaded a little bit younger. We typically didn't have a ton of 5th graders in kind of these groups, and we didn't certainly have a ton of 8th graders in kind of our senior and high school groups, and that's something that's going to change going forward. So here's our age group structure: Little Badgers, Ribbon, and Trophy. We love those names so much, we just kind of recycled them. These are not dramatically different from the kind of ones you maybe were used to or that the kids were in pre-COVID. They may shade a little bit younger, and they're going to have a little bit less time because of that, but they're pretty typical from what we had in the past. our middle school and junior. So this is the age where kids start to diverge a little bit, right? Some kids are a little bit more gung-ho, a little bit more committed. It's one of their primary activities, or maybe the one they're prioritizing the most, or maybe it's their only thing that they're really into outside of school. It's their only sport maybe, or maybe it's just a sport that they're looking for more success in. And then there's others that are more casual. They're looking to continue to improve some of their basic skills. They're looking to come only a couple times a week, or maybe they're looking to have a little bit more flexibility with their attendance. So with that, with these groups being so varied in their goals and what they're looking to get, we have our groups adjusted. So here's our groups for middle school and junior. And again, there are very robust descriptions for each of these groups posted on our website. But middle school is the one that has no attendance requirements. It's going to be primarily for 6th and 8th graders. Junior is going to be sort of our younger, more committed swimmers. There's going to be some attendance requirements as well as some meet participation requirements. And junior premier is for our swimmers that are a little bit older and are pretty committed to the sport. I'll let Drew kind of talk about what the vision is for our high school and senior programs. Drew, you can go ahead.
Yeah, as Jake was saying, that what we're looking at is to incorporate some of the real lessons learned during COVID. As we went into COVID, we were really hoping not have to ever compromise our values and mission and view of what we were doing. We felt we did that pretty well, that our job was to take care of all our athletes to the best of their ability. One of the things that we learned was focus really made a difference. And so these groups are kind of aimed at basically being focused in both attendance, in practice dryland. What Connie was talking about is huge. And then end of the season meets. So we're at trying to take care of the best we can as they go through the senior group. One of the things I've been super proud of is how many of our kids go on and swim in college. We don't feel like we burn out very much, and that they're wanting to continue on. And that's why we'll have 3 training groups of high school, senior, and senior premier. And as Jake said, those are all kind of more fleshed out online. But we are looking at basically kids being focused and committed as they move through those groups.
Excellent. So yeah, we try to make this quick, and like you said, there's a lot more information on the website. It's all under the back end business tab. Our groups, and this is obviously new for us, and we'll probably have some tweaks and things will evolve as we go through this year and into next year. And if you have any questions on what we're doing or how it impacts your kids specifically, don't hesitate to send us an email. That's all we have for now. Check out the website, and thank you very much. Go back.